Humans have always explored. First, feet carried us from cave to cave. Then ships carried explorers like Christopher Columbus and others across the ocean's blue. Great voyages mapped the Earth, and then we looked to the stars, to places that we couldn't go.
In the 1960s, scientists noticed something strange when they measured energy particles flowing from the sun. They knew how many particles were supposed to be traveling to Earth, but for some reason, they couldn't find them all.
To solve their mystery, they turned to a theory from a physicist named Wolfgang Pauli. In the 1930s, Pauli noticed that when certain nuclear matter decayed or broke down, it gave off less detectable energy than expected. Maybe, he thought, an invisible subatomic particle was carrying some of the energy away. And he was the first to imagine the neutrino. The neutrino. You know, we humans might think of ourselves as great explorers, but we're nothing compared to these little things. Like subatomic ships, they sail from across the universe.
After years of research, here's what scientists found out. We all know about atoms, which are made of positive protons, neutral neutrons, and negative electrons. But sometimes, something special happens, and an atom gives off a neutrino. Neutrinos move incredibly fast, at almost the speed of light. They have almost no mass, which means they never slow down. And most importantly, they have no charge. This means they pass through everything, through buildings, mountains, oceans, and every second, billions of them pass through you. You probably know that lead stops most particles cold. This is why it protects you from X-rays. But a neutrino could travel through trillions of miles of lead without changing course.
To catch up with the rarest of neutrinos, the ones from deep, deep space, you have to go on an adventure of your own. To Antarctica. The University of Wisconsin and the National Science Foundation built the largest telescope in the world right at the South Pole, as if Wisconsin wasn't cold enough. It's called IceCube, and like the neutrinos it's designed to detect, this telescope is hard to see. It's under nearly half a mile of ice. IceCube's Jim Hogan took us to the edge.
Make sure your camera's around your wrist. Make sure your hard hat is either you're holding it like this or you got the strap on, because whatever goes down here, it ain't ever coming back.
Because that hole goes down 1.5 miles. No drill bits here, because to make a hole in the ice, all you need is hot water. Heaters and high pressure pumps do all the work. And to make each hole, 200,000 gallons worth of ice has to be melted. IceCube looks like a giant stop sign with strings of neutrino detectors hanging down. The detectors themselves look kind of like overgrown Christmas tree ornaments. But why the South Pole? Because when it comes to cosmic rays, the Earth's surface is bombarded from every direction. Detectors up here would have too much interference. But since neutrinos are the only thing that can pass through the Earth becomes a filter. While most telescopes look into the sky, IceCube looks the other way, through the center of the planet and out through the North Pole. That way it can clearly see the neutrinos. IceCube's Mark Krasberg says this telescope has had some strange looks.
Our telescope was given the nickname the weirdest, right? Because it's this telescope, cubic kilometer of ice, down way under the South Pole, and we're looking down. So when we make a sky map, we don't make a sky map this way, we're making a sky map in that direction.
Neutrinos are bringing us a map of the far corners of the universe.
These tiny messengers carry information about the birth of our universe 14 billion years ago. What did they know about the Big Bang? Well, everything created back then was torn, tossed, and ripped apart, except neutrinos. Scientists believe that the neutrinos passing through you and me today are the same ones that witnessed the Big Bang. For all our grand adventures, we're still stuck here. But these tiny Voyagers, they had a front row seat to the creation of the universe.
Understanding what neutrinos have to say after they've traveled so far will go a long way in helping us understand our journey.